Hey everyone, thanks for joining me. It's Patty from pspapercrafts and I'm here. It's Friday. It's another fun fold. Last month I did gift card holders, but now I'm back to fun folds on Friday. I may sneak in some techniques here or there. So this week we are going to make an angle trifold card, and this is from my December calendar. So each month I make a calendar, I do color combos, sketches. I don't show every card I make according to the calendar, but I always do a color combo on Thursday and a fun fold on Friday and a card sketch. I actually do 2 a week. So if you want to go to my blog, you can check out what I've done according to the calendar. And if you want a copy of the calendar, just subscribe to my email list. There's a link below, and you can get the calendar each month. And it's just ideas for things to do, paper crafting and things like that throughout the month. So anyway, I will have a project sheet also below the video in a link, so you don't have to worry about the measurements and writing everything down. Just watch, enjoy, get some ideas, and then I hope you make some yourself. So the paper that I'm using, I love this paper. It was what I used in last month's card class. I'm not really crazy about the sentiments, but it's a garden walk, and it goes with the modern garden stamp set. So I think the sentiments are great. I don't know, the flowers are okay. I did use it on one of the cards, but the paper is so pretty. And there is, you could use that for Christmas if you wanted to, but the other papers you can use for anything. I love this, so I had to make a card with it. So I have 2 cards that I made, and we're going to make a third one together. So here it is. You just take your belly band off, and then you open up the card, and I did do the inside with this. The sentiments that I used the thank you from the Charming Sentiments, and then on this card I also used the Beyond Grateful, and I'll go over this card in a minute on the inside. But this one, I had a person in mind. Just saying thank you doesn't mean like enough. Hope you know how much your kindness is appreciated. And I think this is just great, and that's on the Hope to Know You. So you could use whatever sentiments. I need some thank you cards. So this one, I used 1 panel of the Designer Series paper, and then I embossed this layer. So you can have it look a little bit different, you know, having not all the same Designer Series paper. Okay, and then I put some butterflies on this, and then this one, I love this pattern so much that I decided to use it on both panels. And then I embossed the belly band. So I'll have all of the products I used for each of the cards listed in that project sheet, and also on my blog, pspapercrafts.com. So if you wanted to go check them out, I don't want to go through all the products here. So this time we are using Pretty Peacock and this pattern, and we're going to use this side. The only problem with this card, not that it's a problem, is if you are using 2 sheets of Designer Series paper, you actually need 2 sheets, because it's the piece that you're going to use is 3 1/8, and you can only get, you know, this is 6, so you can only get 3 and 3. So if you wanted to get 2 out of 1 sheet, what you could do is make it 3 by 5 1/4, and then put a white piece behind it so that it's not too much of a border. So that's one option, or you can just use 2 sheets and use the leftovers, the 2 7/8, I guess would be what's left over for a different project. So that's just something to keep in mind. Or you could do this, where you use 1 and then you do an embossed layer. Okay, just some ideas. So this is our card base. I've got all these layers here. Let's put them aside. So the card base is 11 by 5 1/2, and we want to score this. So let me get my trimmer out. We're going to do a few things to this, and it looks like it would be hard, but it really isn't. You just have to kind of pay attention. So we want to score it at 3 3/8. So we're going to go to 3 1/8, 2/8, 3/8. Okay, and we want to make sure we're using our scoring blade. Now you have a choice of either opening your arm and going out to 7 5/8, or flipping it around and doing 3 3/8 again. So your choice. Some people don't have an arm on there, so this is easier. It's easier to remember as well. Okay, and then we want to do our cutting of the angles. So you're going to get your, what am I thinking of? Your line here that you just, oh my goodness, I can't even think. That you scored, your score line. Wow, that's pretty bad. And you're going to, you have to really pay attention to whether you're at the top of the card or the bottom of the card. Okay, so these are going to fold in this way, and this is the top of your card. So you are going to get your top of the card score line, and you're going to put that in the groove, and then you're going to put the point at 1 1/2. So I like to get to the 1 1/2, and there's a line down here and up here. You want to get to your 1 1/2, put your point on it, and kind of hold it. Might have to move down a little bit. Hold it right there, and then you're going to, let me move it down a little bit, it's getting caught up here. And then you're going to get this score line where it is. So you want to go from 1 1/2 to the score line and cut this angle. And when I'm cutting this, I like to come from the bottom where it's kind of a nice big piece here. And we're just going to cut it. Okay. And then you're going to flip it around, and you're going to do the same thing here. Now my, the Stampin' Up! Trimmer goes out to 1 1/2. So you can do that. If not, you can flip it over and do it this way. Okay, so whatever works for you, you want to go to 1 1/2. So that's 1 1/2. And then I want to get my score line, the groove, into the groove of the trimmer. And you're going to go down. And again, you don't want to start at the top here. You want to go up. Okay. And now you have your top part. Now you want to do the same thing, only you're going to go from the point just to 1 inch. Okay, so you want to have your point in the groove and your 1 inch at the 1 inch line. And again, I'm going to go from the bottom to the top. It just sometimes gets funny if you go into a point with the trimmer. And then you're going to do the same thing here. You're going to do 1 inch. So you got the 1 inch here. And then you're going to line up the point into the groove. 1 inch, point in groove. Try not to move it. That's what I kept having troubles with. I would go to put it down and I would move it. So now you have this kind of funny looking piece here. And this is your fun fold. Isn't that cool? And you can do either way, whichever way you like. I think I have them both this way. Depends on what you're putting down and just your idea of how you want to do it. So these, I'll probably throw these away. I don't know that I'll use them. You probably could punch something small or die cut something small. Now you're going to get your designer series paper. And you want to make sure, if it is directional, that you have it in the right direction. You want to kind of figure out what you're using it for. And I feel like this might, it's not really directional. It's not. So we're going to cut this to 3 1/8. See, so this is a little bit too short. And then we're going to do 5 1/4. Okay. And then, so this piece is going to come here. So we want to make sure we put this side in the groove, and we're going to do the same exact measurements. We're going to do 1 1/2, and this is a little bit easier because it's just a strip and not a whole card. So you want to get your 1 1/2, and then you want your point down there, 1 1/2, Go from the bottom up. And then you are going to do the same thing here. You're going to get your point in the groove and you're going to go to 1. So the top is 1 1/2 and the bottom is 1. I feel like I'm looking at the wrong line. So get the 1, hold your finger, get the groove there, and you want to come from the bottom. Okay, and then this will fit nicely right here. So if you did, like what I was saying before, if you did want to use 2 of these on one, you know, get 2 cuts out of 1 sheet of paper, you can make this 3 by 5 1/2 or 5 1/4, and then you can make a white layer that's, or sorry, 3 by 5 1/8, and then the next layer would be that would be the white layer. Let me say that again. The white layer would be 3 1/8 by 5 1/4. This layer would be 3 by 5 1/8. So that would be layered up. I hope that makes sense and I didn't just confuse you completely. Okay, so now we want to do the other side, and the other side I'm going to go this way. Okay, so we need to get the other piece of paper, and we want to make sure that we're going the right direction. I think I want it to go down like that. Okay, so we're going to do 3 1/8 by 5 1/4. And now we want this cut to go this way. So we're going to put this in the groove and we're going to go out to the 1 1/2 line to the groove. Go up, and then we're going to go the 1 inch to the groove. See, sometimes your fingers are in the way when you're closing it. I think that's why sometimes it shifts on you. Okay, so I think we have our pieces cut. That was a lot of cutting and a lot of thought, right? Now the easy part comes. So let's get rid of all these papers, even this. We don't need this anymore. Okay, and we're just going to adhere these down with some glue. Isn't this paper just so pretty? Come on. So we're just going to put this down. And if you follow me at all, you know I love Pretty Peacock. I was so happy when it came back. One of my favorite colors. And then we're going to put this down. The other side. Isn't it easy? Once you have an idea. I've seen people, you know, I always look for how people do them and try to get the simplest way. Some people do mark with pencils and all of that. I would prefer to just use the trimmer and not have to measure and mark, just kind of measure with the trimmer. So now we have our fold. So you can do it either way. Of course, you want the pretty flowers on the outside. Okay, and then we want to do our inside, and that's just your standard, you know, 4 by 5 1/8 or 5 1/4. And on this one, I was trying to decide what to do. I'm going to do the same sentiment. This hope you know, just saying thank you doesn't seem like enough. Hope you know how much your kindness is appreciated on the inside. And then I'm using the decorative circle punch for the outside along with the 2-inch punch. They really coordinate nicely together. So let's get our ink and get our stamping done, and then we could do the belly band and get everything together. I'll be using Pretty Peacock, And let's just, I'd like to stamp it first and make sure it's lined up. I use my grid paper to look at the words to get an idea. And then I'm going to kind of put it toward the top. I will be putting a piece of designer series paper down there. So that looks good. And then we want the thank you. And that again is from the Charming Sentiments. There is a, there's not really a thank you. It has this, I guess, truly deeply grateful, but I wanted something that would fit round. So let's get that done. I'm going to actually punch it first. And I want to do it toward the top because I will be putting ribbon underneath it. You could always stamp as well or get a bigger sentiment. So whatever sentiments you have, if you want to make these birthday or thinking of you, thank you. So I think we are done with our stamping. We also want to do this background. Unfortunately, once you cut this and the belly band, this is what you have left, and it's not big enough for this. So if you used a different belly band, like for this belly band, I used the wild wheat, and then I had a big enough piece for the back, the mat for the sentiment. So we're going to do this. I love punches. They just make life so easy. And then let's glue this down. So easy. And I kind of tried to figure out if there's a right or wrong way of putting this down, like with the bumps around the edges. I think as long as it's centered here or centered here, it's okay. So let's put that aside. Let's put a little strip of this down, or this. I think the flowers. Let me get my trimmer back out. And I usually do like a 3/4 of an inch. Let's see how that will look. 3/4 of an inch. I'm looking at both sides. Can you see me? Yes. I never know if I have this white paper because I want to make sure I'm in camera. Because when I've got just the black thing, I'm all over the place. So this would be by 4. Put that aside. And then this can go right down there. And I'm just going to use some seal, stamp and seal with this. And put this right here. And then we'll put this in the inside and do our belly band. See how quick it is? Once you have the recipe, and watch how it's made. Because I kept seeing these and I thought, you know, in Pinterest, and I thought they were so pretty. And I thought they might be too complicated with the angles, but they're not. Okay, so we're going to, again, you can emboss this. And when I embossed this one, what I did was I put it in the embossing folder. Let me get it. So I used the Cane Weave embossing folder. And maybe we should do that. Let's do that. Then I could show you for real. And I think it would be pretty anyway. So let's put everything aside. Get my machine out. So you're using the one plate and then this. And what you're going to do is just feed it in. And it's a little bit tricky, but it's doable. And kind of get it lined up. And it may not be perfect, but nobody will notice. I guarantee it. Unless it's really, really wonky. And then we're just going to put this in. And we're going to run it through. And I'm not going to go all the way. I'm going to go as far as I think I can without going off, because I don't want to put a crease in this piece hanging out. And then you're going to take it and you're going to feed it in the other way And you're going to try to line up. See the line across? You're going to try to line it up so that the center kind of works. I'm trying to make it straight all the way up, just so that it looks like it's going all the way up. And then we'll close this. And hopefully it works. It worked for me the first time last time, so. And you're going to go all the way through. Well, not all the way through. You're going to stop again when you get to the edge. What you think is the edge. Right before it makes that banging sound, which I think we all know it's coming. That sound. You know when it's coming, right? So see, may not be perfect, but again, looks good, right? It actually looks like it was weaved. So it's pretty cool. So let's get rid of this. And then we could put this belly band on. And actually this softens the cardstock for putting it around. So we're going to just put it around. And you don't want it too tight. And you can use tear and tape. I just use glue on this. I'm going to just put, I know this is dangerous, putting glue when I have it on the card, and I'm just going to put some on this edge. And then I'm going to close it and take it off so that it dries off the card. I just like to get it in place like that. Okay. And then you can put this on with glue or with dimensionals. I'm just going to use glue, and I'm just going to put it right kind of where the, just want to make sure it's straight. I'm going to put it right here across the back. You don't want it to go over the sides because you don't want it to glue to the card. It's just going to sit on the belly band. And you want to make sure it's straight. The thank you is straight. There's no glue hanging out at the bottom, at the back. Okay. And then we'll close this up. Put this on. There we go. Isn't that pretty? So let's get some ribbon, and I decided I was going to use, I thought I had it out, here it is, this iridescent white ribbon, because I thought that would be pretty. And you can color this with Pretty Peacock, or I think it's Poppy Parade and maybe Flirty Flamingo in there. Come on. What am I doing here? Get all the way to the ribbon and I have a hard time. Is that too white for it? I think that's good. Okay, get our ribbon scissors out and just cut an angle. This ribbon is beautiful, and it is beautiful colored with Stampin' Blends. It really makes it very rich looking. Okay, so we'll get a glue dot and put that right back here. And then I thought we would do the butterflies. I'm just looking for where I put them. Here they are. These are so pretty. I just love them. So you have two different sizes. We've got the little tiny butterfly that we'll put right here. And then we have a couple of big ones, my last two big ones. We'll just put one down here. Oops. I think there's a hair on it. Okay, just going to put that here. Okay. And we have our cards. Aren't they pretty? So thank you with the embossed layer. And then we have the thank you with the 2 panels, the same. And then the last one we just made where you have 2 different panels. So I think these are fun, they're easy. You can use any pattern paper for them. And, you know, just as long as it coordinates, or you could even do 2 layers of embossed if you wanted to. So there's lots you can do with them, and I hope you give it a try. If you enjoyed this, subscribe. If you're not subscribed, give me a thumbs up, and check out the project sheet. There'll be a link below, as well as my blog. You can purchase these products from my online store. I also have, oh, here I am having a hard time. I also have a link to my online store below the video. So if you want any of this, I would love to help you out with it. If you have any questions, leave me a comment, or you can email me, Patty at pspapercrafts.com. Thanks so much and have a good day. Bye.